Good evening, all. Welcome to tonight's ImPossible conversation. The conversation, ordinary people share their extraordinary stories and inspire others. I'm your host, Suki, and tonight my guest is Sonia Pires. She's a personal trainer and she's got her online program to help people to become fit and healthy. So I'm going to bring Sonia now, and we're going to discuss about online personal training program. She's coming now. So I hope you guys had a very nice weekend. Hello, Sonia.
Hi, Suki. How are you?
Can you hear me? Am I sounding okay, or do I need a? I forgot to put my earphones on because sometimes it's easier.
Yeah, sounds good.
So how are you?
I'm good, good. And you?
Yeah, very good. Would you like to introduce yourself first for the people who is watching? Hello, Tracy. Hello, Phil.
Okay. Hi, guys. So my name is Sonia, and I'm a personal trainer. I've been working as a personal trainer for 4 years, and yeah, I really like to move and inspire others to move as well.
And could you tell us about like the personal training you do? Because yours is online, isn't it? Because I have a friend who does who's helped me train, but it's never online. But what's different yours, and how does it work?
Okay, so for the online program, the way it works is I guide people through a process that they will figure out first the reasons why they want to commit to their fitness goals. So it's all about committing in the long term, and then there's like self-love, emotions, all that is covered, and I teach them how to do an action plan in terms of nutrition and exercise that works for themselves. So I don't tell them exactly what to do. I figure with them what's best for them, and then we make a plan according to that. So it's easier for people to stick to it.
So when you think about the traditional personal trainers, they are based at gyms and they stand next to you, say like faster or do it faster or add the weights on, etc. But because the program you're offering is being online, what would you say how people can achieve same or even better results? What's the benefit of having an online personal trainer?
So in terms of the exercises, I did them. So obviously there are the videos of the exercises. I divided them in beginners levels, intermediate and advanced, and then people can make their own workouts. It could be a minimum. It has to be a minimum of 10 minutes, but it could be longer. And then people will set their own goals as well and track their progress towards the goals they choose. Then other stuff that we've got is the accountability. So on the Facebook group, well, I'll give my support on any questions, and there will be like support, like accountability, everybody helping each other, etc.
So when did your program launch then? What's it called?
It launched last month, and it's called Commit to be Fit.
Commit to be fit.
Yes.
All right, okay. So because I remember, I know that you do the Facebook challenges and bringing people together and starting from a day one of each month. And the very first few days are quite easy because I took a part of it, and then eventually it goes harder, I would say. And
Right.
have you got many people following you on that? And why do you gradually increase them? And like I would
So
say, like 30 days are quite short periods.
so yeah, I've got a few people who joined. Some of them have been doing every month, others just join after. Yeah, and we start small so that everybody can start it. Because if you think of like doing 50 push-ups or squats or something, if you're not in that level, you're gonna give up.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna enter. But if we start small and then progress, it's allowing people to see that if you commit to it, then the results will show, and you just gotta be consistent and patient.
Can I ask you, what's your most daily exercise you've done for yourself? Because I remember in day 30, that was like 60 sit-ups, 60 push-ups or something like that. And what's your top? Like
My
the
top
number was,
in in terms of what I've done before.
yeah, and
Oh,
exercise-wise, have you done like 200 in a same day or something like that?
so I've done 200 push-ups. Um, not because I chose to though. It was just in my old gym, jiu-jitsu gym. Yeah, sometimes we would just get pushed a lot, and there was a day that I had to do 200 push-ups, and yeah, it was quite challenging, but I did it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. So could you tell me about yourself a bit more? Because you live in London, and where you originally from, or how have you become interested in personal training, and what's your background?
Okay. So yeah, I was raised. I was yeah, in Portugal. I was born there and
Mm-hmm.
grew up there. And I've always been into sports since when I was 4 years old. My mom got me swimming lessons, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, in that time there were no phones or computers, so I was always very active with my brother, playing out in the street with the neighbors, and all
Mm-hmm.
the activities were around moving and doing any kind of sport. Then, then later on, um, around 13 years old, I
Mm-hmm.
started having some challenging moments in my life, and so uh, the emotional side just wasn't very well, and
Mm-hmm.
um, and so I got through emotional eating, and
Right.
and then at 14, I had this teacher at school, PE teacher, that introduced me to surf and also to a personal development book called
Mm-hmm.
The Celestine Prophecy. And so from then, it was like awakening, I would say, because
Mm-hmm.
I've learned about like spiritually. I was developing like when you surf, there's something about it. I don't know why, but there's something spiritual about it. I don't know if it's because of being in nature, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a really strong energy. So then that with the books that I was starting to read, I discovered a new world, and that got me into the journey of self-love and like healing, and became more confident as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kept surfing. And then when I moved to London, I couldn't surf, but I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which
Uh-huh.
I really like as well.
You
And
started when you came in London.
sorry,
You started when you came in London, that Brazilian.
I started 6 months before.
Oh, right, okay, uh-huh.
So then, yeah, I didn't have surfing, but I had that, and it was really good. And then a few years after, so between the time I came to London and like a few years after, I was just doing random jobs. And
Mm-hmm.
at some point, I just decided to do what I wanted to do, what I loved, what my passion was. And so, yeah, that's when I did the personal training course and
Mm-hmm.
started my journey doing what I love.
Mm. So, because you competed on that Brazilian, what, how to spell it? Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Or okay. You competed.
You can also say BJJ. It's easier.
BJ,
BJJ.
BJJ. Oh, that's much easier. Yeah. So you competed, haven't you?
Yeah,
And
I
you've
did
done a
a
few shows. Yeah.
yeah, I did a few competitions, regular competitions, and then I did also kind of a show competition. And yeah,
Mm-hmm. So is there many people are doing that sport, BJJ?
yeah, it's growing a
Yeah.
lot.
Is it popular?
Yeah, it's becoming more and more popular, especially since the UFC became popular. Then,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of the MMA, it's jiu-jitsu based,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, it's becoming very popular.
Interesting. So, like you said, you've done tennis, surfing, and lots of different sports. Were your parents into many sports? Is that where you inherited it from, or how come you just
Well,
exposed to this world of sports?
so my father wasn't, well, when he was young, he used to play football, but that was it. Uh, my mom, actually, I think the main reason why she got me to swim was because she wanted me and my brother to have to like grow healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So swimming apparently is really good for kids.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, that was just the reason. Then I just really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because you just mentioned about like when you were 13, like the emotional eating and stuff. And is this things associated to your programs you are going to help people with?
Yes. So the
Mm-hmm.
reason why I cover emotions,
Mm-hmm.
it's exactly because of that. Because a lot of people go through it, but we don't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized after I create this program, every time I talk to people about it, they can relate to it. And when I
Mm-hmm.
went through it, I went through it in silence, so I didn't tell anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe a lot of people go through the same. And yeah, so I thought covering emotions and managing emotions, and well, the first step is really figuring out what kind of emotions are influencing us when we do
Mm-hmm.
the decisions we, so then we can change um, the way we decide to eat the chocolate or eat the banana, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And
So how would you say you would recognize if you're emotionally eating? Is it like your self-awareness, or do you need to go to doctors, or what would your recommendation?
I would say one good example, for
Mm-hmm.
example, if you have like a full pack of cookies and you think I'm just gonna have one or two, and then
Mm-hmm.
you just end up having the whole package. Well, you know that it's not because you're hungry, and
Mm-hmm.
ideally you will only have one or two. Like you don't want to have the whole package, but then what happened? Why did you have the whole thing? You know, it's like the excess. So it's same like with drinking. You could have a drink and stop
Mm-hmm.
there, or
Mm-hmm.
if you have an emotional influence, then you might be drinking too much. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it is quite hard to recognize, isn't it? Is it just
Yeah.
all about self-awareness, or would someone have to point out it for you?
Um, I don't think anybody has to point out
Mm-hmm.
because so like if you know what you should be eating, but then you're not actually eating according to what you know you should be doing, then
Mm-hmm.
why are you doing it? Then I
Yeah.
think it's easy to recognize because most of the
Mm-hmm.
times when we don't do what we should be doing, it's because there's an emotional reason behind it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so how would you associate this to your program? How it's linked together? When are you going? Is it like have you got like questionnaires and then people will identify their issues and then work with you? Or
So
when do you would recognize it if a person doesn't know if the person's got that issue?
so if the person sees that they tried so many programs and they get all excited and then they stop it, like because the emotional could go to the eating or it could be emotional reasons why they also don't commit to their exercise. So it could work
Mm-hmm.
for both ways. So if somebody has been trying to commit to their exercise and diet plans and stuff and they just keep stopping, then that's a sign. Like it's just a matter of going like to the deep into the reason why they're stopping and figuring out what emotions are
Mm-hmm.
influencing them to stop. So then by becoming aware, then you know what to do, how to think differently or work through that emotion so it's not stopping you anymore, and then
Mm-hmm.
finally commit to it.
Right. And then because as a personal trainer, you exercise a lot because that's you exercise for yourself and you go out probably with your clients as well.
Yeah.
And what's your daily routine like for your in exercise wise? How much do
Exercise.
you do? Mm-hmm.
So normally with my clients, I don't exercise. I obviously they have their own plans, so I look
Mm-hmm.
and see what they're doing. For my own, um, I try to do BJJ at least 3 times a week,
Mm-hmm.
and then I also do my workouts. Normally, every day I try to do something. I'll have maybe a day in a week that I don't work out. Some days are
Mm-hmm.
harder, other days um, are lighter.
Mm-hmm. So does weather ever affect your training?
Sorry?
Does weather affect your training?
No.
Or are you
Um,
just committed to be fit?
yes, I'm committed.
Yeah, I remember you were mentioning about your ballet classes.
Oh
Could you
yeah,
tell us
so
more about it? Uh-huh.
yeah, so a few months ago, actually, I've always told there's a friend of mine, he teaches ballet, and I always told him like, oh, I really wanted to learn ballet, and then one day he was like, oh, your dream is about to come true because there's a new class in the gym that I go to,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. So a few months
Uh-huh.
ago, I started doing it once a week, and
Uh-huh.
I really enjoyed the balance because ballet is more of a feminine energy and
Uh-huh.
jiu-jitsu is more masculine energy, right? So
Uh-huh.
I feel really good with the balance between both,
Uh-huh.
and I just like the moves and the way I move when I'm doing ballet as well.
Uh-huh. So I think you talk about energy quite a lot. I've just noticed you mentioned it quite a few times. What do you do about your energy? Because I think you're trained Reiki master, would you call it? Or practitioner?
Yeah, I just got the
Uh-huh.
level 1,
Uh-huh.
but I've been doing it for um, well, 10 years now. Time flies.
10 years.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
and yeah, so I've been doing it on my own, on myself,
Uh-huh.
and a few times I've done to other people when they've asked me to.
Mm-hmm.
And well, it's a really good tool to balance your own energies, and the healing power of it is very strong, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a tool you have on your own and anywhere, anytime. And yeah, I've also like got rid of injuries like very quickly by using that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and yeah, I really like
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sonia, can I just say like hi to a few people because Linda's here, Mindy's here, Les is here, Russell's here, and if you guys have any questions about personal training and how does it work online or anything related to your fitness program, just put it in a comment. So Sonia's happy to go through with it. She mentioned before, yeah?
Yes, and hi
Yeah.
everyone.
Um, okay, so like the Reiki you said, and it's all about energy because like people got all have different energy, and because Reiki you healing the other person using your energy, is that right?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Because energy, Reiki, if you heal someone using Reiki, is that you transferring your energy to the person and then heal the other person? Is that how it works?
So your energy is with you, like um, it's more like you are a channel, you are a vehicle that, so energy comes through you and goes out through
Mm-hmm.
your hands, right? So you're just the vehicle for energy to go uh to the person or the area you want to heal. So you
Mm-hmm.
don't get rid of your own energy. Like your energy stays, and you actually get more energy by doing it because you're channeling energy onto your body as well.
All right. Because sometimes you could, like people say, if someone hears someone's problems, for example, and then it's kind of like drawn in and sucking energy and stuff. So is that not really like in a Reiki wise? Is it not
No.
true?
So I believe that the reason why that happens, uh, getting drained,
Uh-huh.
it's like, so the universe is looking all the time to balance energies, right? So let's say uh, this hand is in a higher vibration, and this hand is
Uh-huh.
in a lower vibration.
Yeah.
So by coming together, this hand, the lower vibration, will um, suck some energy of the higher vibration to keep
Yeah.
them balanced,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I believe that's what happens. I'm not 100% sure. I've felt
Yeah.
that, and we all know it happens, but that's my vision on it.
Yeah. Because I don't want waste my energy on a low vibration people.
Right?
So just like run away. So
Sometimes
because
we're not even aware, but like we all have moments in our lives where we have a lower vibration as well.
uh-huh.
So
So then like come
unconsciously,
here, I'm looking for the
yeah.
high energy first. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Sorry, I'm just being weird.
Yes, fine.
So, because you do lots of, because like this Reiki thing and the personal training, and you do help lots of people. What's your highest value is?
My highest value, well, it's freedom, isn't
It's
it? Yeah.
freedom. And so how do you, uh, explain the freedom? Like freedom represents to you?
So to me, freedom represents just being free to do what I want and have no limitations. For example, in regards to my body, I love body weight exercises because they give me the freedom to move the way I want. So, and then that can become an expression, as a form of expression as well.
So you love the more body weight than cardio type of exercises?
I also like cardio a lot. I would say the exercises that, well, the kind of workouts that I like the least is like heavy weights, because they're very good if you want to get strong, but they tend to make you less flexible. So then if you want to move freely, it's harder. Yeah.
Yeah. And then do you run?
Yes, I
Like,
do.
So do you
I
run
used
for like big marathons and
I have
people
not done
just go around?
no, I have not done that yet. So for a few years I didn't like running. But then last year something changed, and now I really enjoy running. So I might sign up for an event this year. If anybody who's listening wants to sign up for a half marathon or something, let me know and we'll go together.
Oh,
Up for the challenge.
probably. I got a question from Russell. He's saying, "Hi Sonia, if you had to choose one exercise, running, swimming, cycling, etc., what would you choose for overall fitness?"
For overall fitness, I would choose swimming.
Really? It's
Yes,
like low impact. Why? What's the reason?
because well, it's low impact, and it's very good for cardio. It's very good for strength as well, and I really enjoy the feeling afterwards. You just feel so relaxed. I I personally enjoy the most swimming in the sea. But
You
because I
swim in the
have,
sea,
well,
open water.
not now, but I used to when I was
Yeah.
back in Portugal. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And why not cycling?
Well, cycling is good for your legs. It's good cardio. It's just not one of my favorites, I'd say.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
running. The Sonia's up to
So
challenges if someone wants to run with her
bring
in
them
any
on.
marathons. Yeah.
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 Running is
And
it gives a good feeling, and it's really good, but it's also um high impact for your joints, especially for your knees. So if you do that like many times, like often, it can get you injured. That's the only reason.
yeah, so like before you start fitness program, you have to consider all those things as well. Which ones better suit you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Linda says, I love swimming. Go once or twice a week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Do you swim a lot? Like, because you're in London, but it's probably going to
Uh,
be swimming pools.
no, at the moment I'm not. I did about a year ago, but at the moment I'm really enjoying my runs and body weight exercises and jiu-jitsu. So I already do a lot. If I could,
Yeah.
I'd be the whole day doing different stuff.
Yeah. It's all about self-love, isn't it? Like spending lots of time.
Yes.
Yeah. So like if someone wants to start the program, just trying to do it just themselves, what would be your advice as a professional, I guess? Yeah.
Um, if they want to start exercising, is it?
What's
Well,
the very first point?
The first point is to know what their goals are, and then see where they're at the moment, and then figure out what is it that they like the most in terms of exercise, and make a plan, make it a priority, and and work towards the goals that they want to achieve.
Yeah, I got a couple of comments. Linda says she's done a Great North Run in 2004, which is about 15 years ago, but she says never again.
Should we go for another one?
It's 15 years. She might be up to it, Linda. And the result says swimming it is, because he has an injury that had stopped him running.
Yeah.
So he's going to go to the pool more than running. And no sea close by.
No sea close by.
Yeah. So tell me about your surfing, because you started it quite early. Like from a young age, haven't you?
Yeah, I was 14 years old when I started surfing. So yeah, I lived by the beach, and at that time there were not many girls surfing. It was still very much a man sport, and there was still some association between drugs and surfing, so it wasn't very popular. But this teacher at school, he decided to introduce surfing to the sports at school, the activity.
Like a part of a school program, like PE.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, the people who live in a like close by to sea, they have like all sorts of extra special PE lessons.
Yes, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, sounds fantastic. Yeah.
So then I started just once a week with the school, and then after that a year ended, I started doing more often, and it's quite addictive actually. Like people who surf normally surf every day, and it's like a spiritual routine. Like if they don't surf one day, they'll miss it a lot. Yeah.
Really? It's that
It
addictive?
recharges. Yeah, because it recharges your energy a lot, and it's a really good feeling to go up and down the waves. We should organize a surf trip.
Yeah. Linda's asking, she would like to be back on her daily exercise in the morning, and because she slipped off a bit. Should I start where I left off, Sonia? And it's like, is it day 19? She can't really start from day 19, can she? Or I don't know. What would
I
you
would say it's better to start whatever the day, for example, tomorrow. And obviously, Linda, you might find it challenging because you stopped for a while and we obviously progressed, but just take breaks, like divide the number of reps by sets, let's say 4 or 5 sets, and rest in between so you can do the whole number. Don't put too much pressure on yourself.
So people use lots of the music, because when you exercise, and that kind of keeps you going on and on. And what's your favorite music whilst you're exercising? Probably there are loads, but
yeah. So anything that is like so electronic music or
like
anything that is
upbeat.
positive and pumping to get me really excited. Yeah. I've got a few playlists on Spotify that have a mix of those songs.
Yeah. Divide and do in between my other exercises. Linda's
Sorry?
asking if she would divide and do in between her other exercises?
Oh, so she's doing other exercises, and if she would divide it between those, is it?
Yeah, sounds like it, yeah. Because maybe she's doing, yeah, maybe like if you could help her later on to sort her
Yeah,
morning routine, yeah.
yeah, exactly. Send me a
Yeah.
message. It's easier to understand, so I can give you the right
Mm-hmm.
feedback.
Yeah. It's so like, yeah, because I can see people like they have their earphones and they just run and
Yeah,
it's just in their world, aren't they?
yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
like anytime I want to like feel more confident or more determined, I just go
Mm-hmm.
for a run, put that
Mm-hmm.
music on, and
Mm-hmm.
then I run faster, I run longer, and the energy, it helps build up the energy in you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So also like I remember you are in Germany now. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you love traveling around.
I do love traveling.
Uh-huh. Is that your hobby or where would you like to be in a travel wise? What's the
Oh,
country you would like to go the most?
so I've never been to the US, and
Uh-huh.
I would really like to go. Not
Uh-huh.
really for the cities though. I would like to go like on the center, like I would like to go to Native American tribes and all that stuff, and to the mountains. I'd like to explore all that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one thing to do in my life. Don't know yet.
Yeah, is it on your vision board?
Uh, it's not just because there's a few things I want to do before that, but I
Uh-huh.
keep thinking about it. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've just like thought because you live in Portugal and I remember there are Mind Valley convention
Mind Valley.
in, yeah,
Oh,
it's in Portugal. Do you follow
okay.
Mind Valley?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, is it like an, yeah, because that
I think
was,
I've seen a post about it. Yeah.
uh-huh, yeah.
Well, I'm not going there soon,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I guess I won't be going there for that too.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Okay, so what would be like your advice for the people who's already started, like Linda and Russell, and they want to continue their fitness programs? And do they just like start because I know like we following you and then we start like from 1 to 30 different type of exercises every month. But not me, okay? Like for example, maybe like Russell and Linda, they are in advance or like they getting better, but they don't want like start from a day one at like everything 1 1 1 and 2 2 2, like in day two. If they want to change that a little bit, tweak that a little bit, what would you recommend? Do it a bit more extra on the early days?
Um, so I don't know exactly what other routines in terms of exercise they have,
Yeah,
but
but like if we just like follow your program as a like a monthly challenges.
so the challenges that I'm doing, like for everyone, like the one you
Mm-hmm.
just mentioned, they're obviously just a challenge to get people started. Then,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to like really go further on your fitness and get more of an exercise plan for your level,
Mm-hmm.
then there's other things to do. Like for example, like I said in the online program I have, like we go into making a plan that it's personalized for each one of you. Like
Mm-hmm.
so I teach you how to well, we first see where you at, and then teach
Mm-hmm.
you how to make a plan that will make you progress.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, these challenges are more to get people started and get active.
Yeah. And what would you say the uniqueness of the Commit to Be Fit program? Because I know just a couple of other people who does the program, but they are guys and they do like lots of heavy stuff and like
Right.
online it's just a kind of a muscly people, but that we really don't want it. And then like for you being a girl and then trying to help people, and you mentioned about emotional eating as well. And what would be your program USP?
So the main thing is the mindset, because if you have your mindset sorted, then you can commit. And I'm more about creating new habits and healthy habits, and
Mm-hmm.
letting and having them last long. So like you
Mm-hmm.
create a new lifestyle for yourself, and then
Mm-hmm.
you continue that way, rather than having a 30 days program, and then automatically what you think is, oh, after those 30 days I can go back to eating what I want or having a long rest. And that's not what I want. That's not what I
Mm-hmm.
believe. So what I believe is like really transforming your mindset and making it a priority in your life, like really self-love, and seeing it as something that you need to be happy, healthy, and live a happier life, like more healthy and with more energy as well.
Yeah, because you mentioned about quite a lot about self-love. It's self-love is because sometimes you have to challenge yourself, especially especially you would like to be fit, and if you're not used to it, and then, but like if you think about self-love, you have to nurture yourself very gently,
Yes.
and
So the reason
how
why,
how they kind of synchronizing.
so the reason why I mentioned self-love a lot is because if you're going to um, pick a um, a workout program or a diet, and if that comes from a place of I have to do it even though I don't
Mm-hmm.
like it, I have to do it
Mm-hmm.
just because I want to get like slimmer or something, then
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of pressure on yourself. And then if you like don't work out a day, you're gonna feel guilt, you're gonna feel terrible about yourself. Whereas if
Mm-hmm.
you love yourself, then all those activities will be like, oh, I'm doing this because I love myself. I'm taking care of my body. I'm taking care of my mind. And
Mm-hmm.
every time you go to eat or you go to buy food, you think, how can I nourish my body? Because I love
Mm-hmm.
myself, not because,
Yeah.
oh, I need to get slimmer or, you know.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's more about you yourself than just like you want that slim body or like that muscle or that weight loss. It's nothing about that. It's all about like self-love, being comfortable on your own skin and
Yeah,
creating better habits and change your lifestyle.
yes,
Is that right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Okay. Is there anything like you would like to give us like as an information about your program, or are you going to add as a comment on in the video that your
Yeah, I can
website and the
put my link
mhm,
in the comment. And
mhm,
yeah, if you feel like you can benefit from it, um, there on the website there's a button to a click to book a call. So firstly, we'll have a Zoom call where we can see
mhm,
if this program really will be beneficial for you, and then
mhm.
we go from there.
All right, so you offering like kind of an introductory session that identify the person's goal is, and then you just go through the program if that's suitable for the individuals, yeah?
Yeah, so any questions they
Mhm.
have, clarify and then just start working on it.
Yeah, sounds great. Okie doke. Right. Thanks very much, Sonia, because it's been very interesting because I've never interviewed personal trainer and
Oh, that's
online.
cool.
And I follow you on Facebook and Instagram, and I think what you're doing is great. And it gets really hard. That challenges. Hands up, I would say it's really hard. At the beginning, I said, "Oh, I'll do it," but and it's great. It's amazing.
Okay.
And
Thank you so much
thanks
for having
very
me.
much for your time. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Thanks very much for everyone watching, and I'll see you on Tuesday with Frank Salicki, and we're going to cover about Finding Your Voice event in Newcastle. Thanks very much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.